The Thabo Mbeki African Leadership Institute is a program with Africa's Renaissance at its very heart. A partnership between the University of South Africa and the Thabo Mbeki Foundation. It seeks to invest in thought leaders and to train Africans for the political, economic, social and cultural renewal of the continent.
I think the damage that's been done by colonization is that it's led us to believe that we don't have a rich history, and actually we do. We are the continent that's known for being the cradle of humanity. That means that we have a very strong and rich history, but it means that we've also been at the forefront at some point in life. I think it's about us reclaiming that place again, to be leaders.
Well, TMALI came about after President Mbeki left government, and many people wanted him to follow up on his ideas about the Renaissance of Africa, how Africa can be revived. And as he was traveling around the continent, many leaders said, listen, we need the know-how. We need to train our young people to really help us in the revival of our countries. Africa is not short of policies. There are policies by the dozen. What is short is implementation. And the reason we don't implement is because we don't have people with the skills. TMALI aims to close that gap and produce young people who can have the skills to do that.
TMALI was formally launched in 2010 as a partnership between the University of South Africa and the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, based at the UNISA campus in Tshwane, South Africa. The distinguished scholar Dr. Maureen Tong, who enthusiastically welcomed the first TMALI students, was appointed on the 1st of July 2009 to attend to the establishment of TMALI and serves as the acting head of the institute.
Thank you and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very, very, very important day for us at the Thabo Mbeki African Leadership Institute. You have no idea how happy I am to be standing here today and looking at all of you. You deserve a beautiful round of applause.
Dr. Thabo Mbeki, the patron of TMALI, also extended a warm welcome to the TMALI students.
First of all, let me say I'm very glad to see all of you and to empower ourselves to do these things that are necessary in terms of changing our continent for the better. I think this is a challenging task, but I think we can respond to it. But otherwise, welcome and good luck. Thanks.
So we really believe that in so many years, we hope not too long, not too distant a future, we would have critical mass, hopefully of young and some older people, that have really gone through the institute, gone through our different programs, delving into the much deeper conceptual issues of what we mean by leadership, about the concept of the Renaissance of the continent, etc.
And you cannot say, this what has happened does not concern me. What has happened in Zimbabwe or any other African country, for that matter the globe. So what happens around you does concern you.
We really hope that through this program, because it's offered throughout the continent, that a lot of young South Africans will through TMALI find an opportunity to either research or do an internship or be placed in another African country, or just through interacting with other students that are part of the TMALI program that are based in other countries, that through that process you'll have obviously more a cross-fertilization of ideas, but also just open up the young South African mind to the continent.
There are studies that say Africa consumes 95% of knowledge that is produced globally, but it produces less than 5% of it. The question then is, what has happened to African knowledge?
The Institute is making sure new voices are heard and robust discussions are entertained.
Who funds AU?
The AU activities and programs will be funded with money that comes from donors.
My question concerns Cameroon. In Cameroonians fear the Ivory Coast story to happen again. What can be done to prevent that to happen?
My understanding is that if we need to ensure that the African development is a reality and not just a dream, we really have to deal with this economic emancipation issue.
Now I want to know, why is it taking so long?
Through dialogues such as this, TMALI offers its students the chance to understand the critical issues facing the continent and gives young people the chance to face these challenges surrounded by like-minded individuals.
Why TMALI? I was really curious about the idea of thought leaders. So for me, it was more of curiosity, and of course, I'd like to go into foreign affairs.
I was responding to a clarion call that was made that says that Africa's young professionals, all of Africa's young professionals, must really now begin to respond to the injunction, what are we to do as Africans, to respond and to confront the challenges that the continent faces.
And I view that as an entry point for me to start saying, as a community activist, how do I connect myself to this noble idea?
We want to cultivate commitment, we want to cultivate loyalty, we want to cultivate curiosity, just to be curious about our own condition.
We hope that the graduates of TMALI will come out of the program really proud of their sense of being African, first and foremost. But not only that, being empowered with the right attributes of leadership that we believe will be relevant for the continent.
With these values as its guiding philosophy, TMALI continues to go from strength to strength, a beacon for the development and renewal of Africa.